Good evening, everybody. It's bang on 8 o'clock. Welcome to our webinar training this evening. It's fascinating to see so many people from around the world on this call, from the United States of America to Australia. Congratulations, folks. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning. That's real commitment. Well done. To Israel, to Russia, to Denmark. This is an international affair. So congratulations. Well done. Okay, this is last week we had one of our best weeks income-wise and recruitment-wise for a long, long time. So well done, guys. You're really, really pulling all stops out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share with you a couple of ideas before we get into questions and answers. But you need to understand that attending webinars is like consuming food. You need to use them to survive. If you don't use webinars, your business will struggle. Your business will be very, very hard to succeed. Ask yourself one question. If I didn't have to work for a living, what would I love to do the most? This is a question you need to ask yourself. If I didn't have to work for a living, what would I love to do for the most? Now, my question, or my answer, should I say, is Shopping Sherlock. I am absolutely addicted to doing what I do. And that's why I'm in a prospecting mode 24/7. And you need to get that into that stage. Because at the end of the day, I'm not wanting to sound morbid, but if you knew you only had 6 months to live, what would you like to do the most? That's what I say to myself every single day. I'm waking up thinking, what if I've only got 6 months to live? Am I going to think about recruiting people? Am I going to think about prospecting people? No, I hit it hard every single day. And that's the reason why, give it another year or 2 years, people are going to be saying, Simon, how come that you make so much more money than anybody else? Because I don't know anybody else that works as hard as I work. Now, what I'm going to do is share a concept with you. Imagine you have a property and you have a 5-acre plot of land, 5-acre backyard or 5-acre garden, and you've got a 5-mile hose pipe that you're going to water the garden. Before we do this, I need to just make sure, give you a little bit of housekeeping. If you want to ask questions, go down to the bottom. There's 3 boxes that says polls, questions, and chat. If you want to ask a question, click on the square button that says questions, and you can type in the question in the box. When I ask to put your hand up, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines that you can click where your name is in that box, and it flags up the hand. Okay, so here's my question. You've got a 5-acre plot of land. You've got a 5-mile hose pipe. You've got a tap on the wall, and you want to water the garden. You turn the tap on, put your hands up if water will come out the end. Hands up. Put your hands up if water comes out the end. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's several of you that are putting your hands up. It doesn't. Why? Because you have an empty pipeline. So that's the same as this opportunity. You need to build your pipeline. And what I mean by build your pipeline, I'm talking about prospecting. You need to load your pipeline with prospects. Fill it as much as you can. And how do you fill your pipeline? That's with your warm market, with your contacts, whether it be with Facebook, whether it be social media, whether it be your address book, your birthday card list, your Christmas card list, whichever list, you fill your prospect list. You fill your pipeline. Then when you've got a full pipeline, what do you start doing with these people? You start putting them through the process, through the steps 1 and 2 on Destination Diamond. Now, when you're looking at it now, you look at the screen, you'll notice we've now got it in Chinese. So we have it in English, we have it in English US, we have it in Russian, Chinese, Hungarian, Danish. We have it in many, many different languages. Now, when I was with my previous company for 18 years and we had it in Chinese, guess what we taught our team to do? Go and take this presentation down to your local Chinese takeaway. See if these people can understand this presentation. See if these people would like to know more about this opportunity. Now, I'm not talking about taking your computer into your local Chinese, but you can give them the website destinationdiamond.co.uk, and turn around and say, if you click the tab that says Chinese, it's in Chinese. So if you've got any friends and family that's in Asia, you can send this over there and you can build a 24-hour business worldwide, totally, utterly seamless. Okay, so we spoke about pipeline. You need to make sure that you get your pipeline. You need to get in your mind that you've got to be prospecting and building your organization. I'll give you the classic. Yesterday, I posted a message on Facebook when we had our meeting here on Monday evening. And one of my contacts, I don't know how I know this person, turns around and says to me, Simon, how can you have made that much money or done that well in this industry? I've been in the industry for 20 months with my company in America, and I've got to an income level of $10,000 a month, but it's gone dead. I know it's in health and nutrition, he said, but you obviously know something more than I know. So what was I like? I'm communicating with this guy several times a day, several minutes a day, and I turn around and I use different language. I will turn around and say, I have got something that's going to blow your brains out. I have got an opportunity that you have to take a look at sooner rather than later. Because if you're making or if you were making 10,000 in that relatively short space of time, then I can share with you an opportunity that you can earn that income not per month but per week. So I'm really, really promoting the opportunity. Now, do I tell them about the product? No. Will I tell them about the product when now we've exchanged Skype details and we'll have a communication and conversation tomorrow? Yes. And will I go OTT? Yes. Does that work for me? Yes. Do I ever change anything, do anything different? No. See, I never ever change the message. What I do the same message, but what I do is I change the audience. That's the difference. Now, if I've got a factory worker, it's going to be the same message. If I've got a company director, it's going to be the same message. Will I have a little bit more enthusiasm with different people? Yes, depending how I'm building rapport. But the most important part is I'm always in the prospecting mode. Okay, start loading your questions up. We need to start taking questions. Okay, so I'm going to hand you over to my operator, Frazer. Have we got anybody that's offered a question or asked a question that you can read out for me? And I'll do my best to answer.
Not yet. Not yet, no.
Okay, come on, guys. We need to be a little bit faster. I will give you a little bit of a heads up while you're writing a question that you might need to know about recruitment or whichever about the opportunity. Next week, I'm going to be doing an interview, and the person I'm going to be interviewing is going to be Michael Weeder, our owner and CEO. So you must make sure you're going to have questions next week, but you need to make sure you get your whole organization. This is going to be an awesome webinar next Tuesday. And also what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover in a lot of questions next week, which is going to be objections. So think about objections, and we'll cover objections in detail next week. And don't forget, at the end of this call, I will be talking to you about an incentive where I'm going to be putting some money into the program. Anyway, any questions yet, Frazer?
Yep, someone in Australia has just asked, can you explain the binary system?
Okay, very, very simple. What you need to do is not get too technical, too confused regarding the binary. Now, with most multi-levels, they're normally a unilevel plan, which means you go out and recruit people. And we was only speaking the other day. I've been involved in Distributor for 25 years in August. and I was working out how many people that I've personally recruited in all the time I've been in the industry. And it works out around about 3 people per month on average in 25 years. That is a lot of people. 3 people per month, that's 36 people a year, times that by 25 years, nearly 25 years, that is a lot of people. 25 times 36, that's 900 people. In actual fact, I've recruited more than that, because it's nearly well over 1,000 people. 1,000 people that I've personally recruited. Now, this is one of the traps that people fall into when they get involved in multi-level. They get involved and they think, oh, whoopee, I've recruited the best top 6 people. I'm going to retire to the beach and I'm never going to do a thing. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Big mistake. Don't ever stop. If you think you've got the 6 top big hitters, keep finding another 6 top big hitters. Never, ever, ever stop. Why? Because some of those big hitters won't go on and won't build the business. So you keep finding more and more and more people. Why stop? The more you stop, the more you're going to limit your income. Now, if you're wanting an income that's going to be limited, then yeah, stop working, stop building, stop recruiting people. See, I've got a great opinion and a great belief that every single person that comes in within 3 feet of my space, I will talk to them about the opportunity. And guess what we can always have in common? Income. Not if-come, income. Everybody has got income in common. Now, normally, when you're employed, or if you're in a job or you've got a business, it's taboo to talk about your income. You never talk about income. But with our industry, we use that as leverage. We use that to attract people. So anyway, let's get back to the original question. How do you explain a binary? Very, very simple. A binary, you have 2 legs, a left and a right. And let's say if you're going to recruit 10 people, you put 5 people into the left. So you put 1 at the top of the left and 1 at the top of the right. The next one you put, which is going to be the second person that's going to be in your left, and then another one which is going to be the second person in your right. Now, if you go onto Destination Diamond and you click on Resources, there will be a tab on there that's got about how to explain the binary. And if you look down here, you've got loads of other bits and pieces. In actual fact, is it there?
No, Dad, it's not there, but I can add it.
Okay, what we'll do, folks, great question. See, this is how democratic these webinars are. We'll actually add the binary explanation to this website. So that will answer any questions that any of your people have got about how do you explain a binary? Okay, and it'll be very, very simplistic. That will be done within 24 hours. Okay, next question, Frazer.
Okay, let's see. What would you do if the person is not in a country and they want to join and they're not on the drop-down list?
Okay, let's say then that we are based in, let's say, South Africa, and you're going to be prospecting somebody that lives in Timbuktu. And Timbuktu is not in the drop-down box. Okay, you then need to pick the map and pick the nearest country to where they are, and they need to put an address that's in that country. See, the country, to be honest with you folks, isn't that relevant. It's just a port of call that you can say that that's your home. That's where you live. But there's very, very few countries that isn't in the drop-down box. So that question will be a 1 in a million times you'll ever get that asked or ever come up with that. Next question.
How would you ensure that your prospects listen to the webinars and the training webinars?
Oh, that's a great question. How do you ensure that your team listen to the webinars? Great. Okay. This is my opinion. What I would do is if I'm starting out, and let's say if you've got 1, 2, or 3 people that's in your team and you know the webinar has happened, then make sure, because it's that young, that underdeveloped, call those people individually. and ask them questions on what you liked most about the webinar. Might be one of the questions that somebody asked. It might be a statement that I might have made. It might be an answer to one of the objections that we give. So always speak to your people after the event so that you can keep their juices flowing. If the people are kept in contact with, they will feel supported and they will feel part of an organization. The majority of people join this industry because they want to belong. They want to belong. It's like people want to join a golf club. They want to join a health club. They want the feeling of a belonging feeling. That's the same with multi-level marketing. They need to get the feeling of a belonging feeling. So the only way you can find out is if they've listened to it is by contacting them, calling them, not emailing them, calling them. Now, if you've got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people, that's going to be an impossibility. Then you need to use the facility of email. Next question.
Okay, someone's just asked, what sets the Shopping Sherlock apart from every other MLM?
Okay, that's possibly one of the easiest questions to answer. What sets the Sherlock away from any of these other companies? Let's just explore all these other companies. You've got cleaning materials, you've got pills and potions, you've got juices, you've got health and nutrition in a bubble. You've got so much competition in these companies, but we've got none. We haven't got any competition with a shopping application. And when we launch our new products in around about 10 days to 14 days time, we will blow them all out of the water. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about the Shopping Sherlock daily deals. That will blow people's brains out. I tell you now, that will be so, so exciting. But here's the difference. Let's say that we're all involved in a health and nutritional company, and we want to launch into a new country, whether it be in Europe or whether it's going to be in Asia. Before that company can open in that country, they've got to cross T's and they've got to dot I's and get product approval. Here's the problem. A lot of these countries will then stop them with bringing that product in because there might be one ingredient that's not right. That's what happened with me with a company that I was with for 18 years. And it was an absolute nightmare. But here was the other thing with that company. When you're involved in a health and nutrition company, and I'm only using that because that's just my experience, people wanted to touch and feel the physical product. So I had to make up information packs and I had to post it to people. That had a massive cost. And then there was one of these other companies in nutrition that people had to taste the product. So what's the difference with our program? Well, every single person can sample the product within 3 minutes. You just email the link. Very, very simple. Can we sponsor anybody in any country? Yeah, as long as they've got one qualification. The qualification is they must have internet access. Internet access is the secret, is the answer. Now, look at the biggest multi-billion giants worldwide, and you look at like the manufacturing car industry. Massive, really massive. It's not the biggest. You've got health and nutritional companies. Add every single health and nutritional company, it still doesn't come close to companies like Apple, Facebook, Skype, Google. These are multi-billion dollar companies, and that's the industry we are in. So you can put hand on heart, and you know that you are in the fastest growing growth industry in the world. Next question.
Okay, someone's just asked, can you please explain why it's so important that you install your Enrollers app onto your computer?
Okay, well, the ethics and the protocol is that you need to install your uplines application. Now, if everybody does that, then that will work so much better. The company will know if you don't install your uplines app. Now, if you want to be giving out hundreds and hundreds of apps, you need to make sure that you install your uplines app, because if you're installing your own app, you won't be able to give Sherlocks away. Next question.
Great. What steps would you teach new prospects to effectively plug into Shopping Sherlock's system to enable them to become a leader?
Okay. Right. Well, how to become a leader within the Sherlock system is really, really a simple question, really, or simple answer. If to become a leader and look at the leaders, I'm looking down the list of all the people that's on this webinar, and all the globals are on it, and all the powers. But the main way to become a leader is to attend everything. If there's a webinar, if it's a company webinar, great, you need to attend it. If it's one of our training webinars, great, you need to attend it. If it's one of our business opportunity webinars, whether it be a Monday and a Thursday, you need to attend it. Why? You might turn and say, well, why do I need to attend that? Because you need to make sure you're inviting your prospects onto those webinars. Now, if those webinars, for some reason, might have a glitch, like we did have the other day, and I noticed that Ian's on the webinar now, and he Skyped me and turned around and said, Simon, you're doing the webinar, but no one can hear. Well, guess what? We rectified that problem. So, Ian, thank you very much. But you see, if nobody goes on the webinars, nobody supports them, then you don't know if your prospect is hearing the right message. Now, to become a leader, the main way to become a leader is to recruit and sponsor hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. I've got one of my learned leaders in the Philippines who you know, which is Charles and Emily Monk. They put in nearly just under 100 people last weekend. 100 people. Would you say that's a lot of people? I'd say that's a massive amount of people. So this coming week is becoming huge. Last week was one of the best weeks. This week is going to outdo last week's by loads. Now, the way to become a leader is to go out there and get your contacts and sponsor as many people as you can. People might be getting fed up with me saying, oh, Simon, sponsor, sponsor, sponsor. All you're talking about is sponsor. Yep, guess what, folks? This is building a structure. This is about pioneering and building your business. You have got no idea how embryonic this opportunity is and how much better you are placed being right in this business at such an early time. Because I tell you now, in 5 years' time, when there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of distributors, you can turn around and say that 10% of those people are in my team, my organization. And you can say that I was in the pioneering stages. I was in the early days. I was there right at the beginning. I was there when they only had a few hundred on their training webinars. And now you've got thousands. It's like, that's the benefit. And can you imagine when we get to the stage where we can't do open training sessions? I would have to do for Joe Bloggs' team. That will be phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. But we've got a ways to go then. We need to get into the recruitment bases, and we need to get into the prospecting. We need every single person on this webinar to fill their pipeline. That's the crucial part. Next question.
Okay, someone's just said, how do you communicate with all your distributors worldwide?
Okay, how do I communicate? Well, one of the main ways is I ask people to log on to simonbrooks.info. Now, it's very, very tough. I've always said for 25 years, if you have 1,000 people in your team, is it easier for you to contact 1,000 or for the 1,000 to make one phone call and contact their upline? Obviously, contact their upline. So can the upline phone all their downline all the time? No, but we've got modern technology. Now, I use simonbrooks.info so I can email people in a heartbeat, whether it be once or twice a day or once a week or whatever. And that is a great system. That's why all of you people that's on this webinar right now, you need to send out a welcome email with the simonbrooks.info on it. Give it an example. Let's say that you are there and you've recruited Mary, and Mary's gone out there and recruited, let's say, 6 people. Those 6 people that Mary's recruited, you don't know. But let's say Mary drops out. Why? Because she might have had a baby, she might have moved house, she might have had an upset with her husband, a partner, whatever. Those 6 people that Mary recruited are now left on their own. Because you didn't know them and Mary didn't introduce it to them, they're now left in the lurch. They're not supported. Whereas if they would have joined simonbrooks.info, at least they would be picking up all the information, whether it be about webinars, about trainings, about events, about leadership weekends, or whatever. So that every single person needs to join our free email loop. And that's the other benefit. It's free. You know, there's no charge for it. Now, if they get the email, they don't want to read it, they can press delete. It's their choice. Their choice. Next question.
Okay, a couple of people have just asked the same question, really. What have you found that is the best way to distribute your free app?
The best way to distribute the free app, that's possibly the easiest question of the night. Sponsor more people. Now, you might think that's flippant. You might turn around and say, oh, come on, Simon. We're talking about giving away the app. Yeah, I give the app away. If I get a carpet cleaner come in, I say, great, you've done a great job. Thanks for helping me. I'd like to help you. I'd like to give you this. Have you bought anything on the app, on the internet? Really? Well, let's put that into my computer. Let me show you how my product works. But I mainly focus on recruitment, because every single person you recruit, they install your app. So you'll get more users, but more to the point, more users who will be using the app in a huge way. Now, if it's like I'm talking to, might be, I don't know, it could be somebody I'm talking to walking the dog, and I'm talking about the product, yeah, great, and I will give them the application. I will take their phone number and say, I will text you this application, and I tell you what, you install it, and I will give them a brief description about what it's all about. But I mainly focus on the recruit. If I go out there and get 10 people to install the app, I will make a very small amount of money on clicking them. If I go out there and look to recruit 10 distributors, look at the difference in income recruiting 10 distributors than giving away 10 of the apps. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's the difference. Always, always sell the dream, build a team. Sell the dream, build a team. That's the most important. I'm going to take one more question, and I'm going to get onto some other content I've got. Last question, Fraser.
Oh, hang on, the last one's just come in. Do you use business cards, postcards, flyers, etc. to hand out the app?
Okay. Business cards, I use a business card. I'm waiting for some artwork from the company. They're going to get a business card done with our printer, and I will be emailing that. See, again, here we go. I will be emailing that out to everybody. Now, if people haven't registered on simonbrooks.info, then they won't be getting the email. And if you think, like some people, oh, well, every time you send the email out, I always pass it on to everybody. Right, that's great. So what happens if you take a 2-week holiday and I'm sending out, let's say, an email a day? Then your team are going to be behind the curve. Teach your people to be independent, not dependent. Get them to register for free on the email loop. Then it does all your work for you. Okay, that's the last question. Now, what I want to explain to you and talk to you about is we have an event which will be the biggest event with the Sherlock that we're going to have, and it's regarding our leadership weekend. Now, see this website here, which is the Destination Diamond. If you click on major event right in the middle, you can see the event that's going to be coming up. That's going to be, scroll down a bit, it's got join us at the inaugural Shopping Sherlock Leadership Weekend and Christmas Party. We're flying over Michael Weeder. He's going to be there, and he's going to be teaching us all about where we're going to be going, what to do with the technology that we've got our hands on, and everything else. So I'm going to be sending out this document again on everybody that's on simonbrooks.info, and it's going to be, I'm going to read it out to you, and it says, hi Joe, here is our first Shopping Sherlock Leadership Weekend, which will be held on November 17th and 18th. To see the schedule and venue and details, visit Shopping Sherlock, blah, 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 blah. That's the website. As a leader, I would like to make sure as many people attend this event for free. Yes, I said free. Here's how. From tonight, the 17th of July, till the 31st of October, so you've got July, you've got August, September, October, you've got 3.5 months But everyone who books their place on the enclosed website for the event, myself and my wife, Julie, will be paying the amount of money that you've paid back. We'll give it back to you on stage at the event. You can have it for free. All that you've got to do is sponsor 10 people in 3.5 months. 10 people. So October the 31st, for everyone who books their place and enclosed website for the event, myself and Julie will give everyone who sponsors 10 new distributors their money back on stage at the event. So here are the rules. You have to attend the event in the UK. Now, for those who live in a distance places, I'm really sorry, I apologize. If you live abroad, then, you know, this will only be for the venue, won't be for flights. Okay, the incentive can't cover for your airfare. If you are traveling from another country, the cost will be yours. But I assure you, it will be worth it. I'll tell you now, guys, if you've been to one of these events, I know Igor is from Israel, is on this webinar. He was at the last one. And a lot of other people had an awesome time. If anyone sponsors 20 distributors in this time period, you and your partner can go free. But no free places can be transferred to another distributor. So if you're a single person, you sponsor 20 people, great. You get your place free, but you don't get another one to give away. To avoid disappointment, book your place now and start sponsoring today. This flyer will be going out tonight. Now, here's a point. For those of you that are thinking, well, hold on, if I go on there and book this event and pay the money now on credit card, it's 4.5 months away. So this is what I'm going to do. I know this is going to really only be for English people, but I'm looking to give you some better cash flow. You could write the check out for the money, and the prices are all on there, then put it in an envelope and post it to my address and date the check for the 30th of September. So not only have you guaranteed and booked your place, but you've also got great cash flow. Now, that still means that you can go out there and sponsor 10 people, get your money in front of everybody else, get a load of huge recognition in front of the new owner and everything else. But we need as many people going for this incentive as we possibly can. But one of the questions that Frazer said before, how do you build leadership within your team? Well, I'll tell you now, if you're a leader and you're not at this event, guess what, folks? You're not a leader. You need to step up. You need to man up, you need to lady up, however you want to call it, and you need to make sure you're in attendance. Now, what I'd like to do at this moment in time, I want to share a couple of people's opinions of what they think to the event. So firstly, what I'd like to do is go to a gentleman that a lot of you know. His name is Alan Platt, Global Distributor Alan Platt. Can we unmute Alan? And Alan, can you share your story of what you like about the leadership weekends? You've been to a few. Alan, can you introduce yourself for us?
Hey, Simon, thank you very much. Yes, everyone, my name's Alan Platt, Global Power Distributor. First of all, the leadership weekends are absolutely phenomenal. It's a must event for anybody who's serious about their Shopping Sherlock business. I've been to several of these now, and the Cranage Hall is a fantastic venue. So in terms of the venue, it's an amazing place. The training that happens at that weekend are absolutely fantastic to help people develop the business. The content that we get from yourselves and other leaders within the group, again, amazing knowledge to take away. The party in the evening, and this one's going to be the Christmas party as well. Excellent venue, great food, lots and lots of fun. The accommodation's great as well. There's a pool, spa. You know, we have so much fun as a team at these events. You know, we're going to be at every single one of them. I mean, I'm all in like you, Simon. I've already paid. But I thought what you've just done there by doing the post-dated checks is ideal by giving people cash flow. So what I'd recommend for you is not to miss out on this. So there's only limited rooms. That I'd say to people, the best thing they can do is act now, post that check over to you, get that position locked into the Cranage Hall for the Leadership Weekend, which is an amazing weekend. Promote it massively within the teams. And also now you can do it for free. Well, I'll tell you one thing, Simon, I'm going to be pushing to try and get that free ticket by trying to sponsor 10 people in that time period. I think if we all work towards that, it's going to be an amazing event. So just to summarise, fantastic venue, fantastic content, fantastic food, fantastic facilities, and it's an absolute must not to miss. You need to be there.
Thanks
Over
a
to
lot.
you, Simon.
Great stuff. Okay, so that's the good thing. And do you know something? Alan is one of these leaders. He doesn't do so much on sending out emails. He physically picks up the phone and phones his organization. His main frontline is level 1 leaders. I tell you what, the guy works it really, really hard and really, really, really well. Okay, next person I'm going to go to is going to be Sergei. Serge, can you tell us what you think of the leadership weekend?
Hi, Simon. Nice to hear. It's a great webinar. Actually, it's as Alan said, it's a great fun. Also, it's a lot of information. You are learning from people, and also you can have some personal touch with different people which you just spoke through the Skype or communicate via email. It's fantastic, I think, because internet is nice and it's very fast and everything, and you can communicate with lots of countries. But it's nice to see everyone in one place and have a fantastic time there. This might be.
Okay, thanks a lot. Good stuff. Okay, now the interesting thing about this venue, if you are flying in from Europe or anywhere else around the world, you need to fly into Manchester, because from Manchester to the venue is a 20-minute cab ride, so it's not that far. Okay, last person I want to speak to regarding the leadership weekend is Global Power Distributor Paul Monks. Paul, can you share your story?
Hi Simon, good evening everyone. Well, I must admit, when I first got involved in this business, Simon, it happened to be a leadership weekend, and I came along, and I must admit it really cemented my belief in the business. I was very excited, obviously, but you know, just to meet the leaders, to understand more about the business, to mix with like-minded people, of course it's a great experience, and it's a lot of fun. And you know, people will learn a lot, and as I said, there's that bonding, and obviously, especially with Michael Weeder coming over as well. I think we're all excited to see our new boss, our new Chief Executive Officer, and to hear his vision, you know, to take this to all corners of the world, and to help us all to build a tremendous business for ourselves over the next year or two. And the whole thing's going to be great. And you know, what a great offer that is as well, Simon. You know, people can get out there, sponsor a few people, and start to build a nice team for themselves and get it all for free. So the offer's there, guys. I certainly will look forward to it, and it'd be great to catch up with everyone again. So thanks, Simon.
Thanks a lot, Paul. Okay, but the interesting thing, folks, that's going to be 10 people in 3.5 months. So that's going to be nothing. That's going to be like, that's not going to be many. That's 3.5 months. That's 12, 13, 14. That's 14 weeks. That's less than one person a week. Do you know the interesting thing is, you should be doing that anyway. So the freebie is just an extra. So yeah, be interesting to see. Come along, see how many people are going to be getting that free event. So the next event that's going to be on this week is going to be the Thursday's webinar, Thursday's opportunity webinar. Get as many people. Now the floodgates should be open. You should be. Now, before I go any further, you can see here, see where it says live event. There's my address, Simon Brookes. You need to make your check payable for the leadership again to Simon Brookes, and that's my home address. You can post it off to my home address there. Okay, yeah, anyway, so the event that's going to be next is going to be Thursday, which is our business opportunity. Then the next event is going to be on Monday, which is my home event. So that is going to be, whoa, here we go. Okay, well, Rosie, well done. So I've already got somebody who just booked. Thanks for the characters. I love people when they email straight away, halfway through or 3/4 of the way through the webinar saying, thanks for the carrot, I'm going to take you up on it. Yeah, great. So, okay, so just to recap, what I'd like is some homework, folks. I would like everybody to turn around and send me an email with just one sentence of what you enjoyed most about this webinar, so I can blast it out to everybody, and I will be doing that within the next 24 hours, so please sooner rather than later. I'm going to be sending out a broadcast tonight. It's going to be regarding the incentive for the leadership weekend, and then The next day after that, I will be sending out homework with all your thoughts and all your processes on what you've enjoyed the most about this webinar. Folks, the incentive is out there to become a leader. All you've got to do is you've got to go out there and prospect. Go and recruit 10 people. Make sure you book the event. It's more or less like a mini holiday. When you think it's arrival on the Saturday morning, there's a light lunch, you've got afternoon training and everything else. There's teas, coffees and everything. There's a 3-course evening meal. There's overnight accommodation. There's entertainment, overnight accommodation, cook breakfast morning, teas and coffees, training on Sunday, all for the total cost of only £119 for your accommodation, your food, your teas, coffees, your entertainment, your training, everything. No other extras, no other on costs. Folks, my time is up. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I would look forward to speaking to you next week. Do not forget, next week's webinar, I'm going to be interviewing Michael Weeder. Folks, have a great week, and I'll speak to you through it. Take care. Bye-bye.